So hello everyone, welcome to the channel. Thank you to the folks who returned to the channel. My name is Chef Tran. I am a formerly trained chef, been in the culinary arts world for over 30 years. However, I'm going back to school, got accepted into the Culinary Arts Institute, Culinary Institute of America, there you go. There's gonna be a lot of mistakes in this. I'm gonna have one shot at this. I don't edit, so here we go. So today, I'm gonna share with you a quick recipe on how I make pizza. It's an all-purpose dough. You can do pretty much anything with it you want, from breads to baguettes to pizza, right? So with that, let's get started, right? You're gonna need 3/4 cups of water. Tap water is good. 2 cups of bread flour. You can use all-purpose flour. You can do a blend of whole grain flours and any other type of flours, right? So it's pretty simple, but today we're going to use bread flour. You're going to need a teaspoon of yeast. You can use this type of yeast. You can use this yeast. You can use this, or you can even use a sourdough starter. If you like. Okay, so it's a little more complicated when you use a sourdough starter. I do have a batch, but I'm not going to use it today. All right, so you're going to need a little bit of sugar, scrap sugar, and salt, and some oil. Right, so here we go. 3/4 cups of water, tap water. 2 cups of bread flour. I'm going to make a mess here. All right. 1. I guess I could have pre-measured like they do on television. 2. Okay, so that's the basis of it, right? Sugar, I use 2 packs of stuff that I get from fast food stores, restaurants I should say. A pinch of salt. Some yeast. I use 1 teaspoon of yeast because it's setting overnight, and you really don't have to use a whole bunch of yeast, right? 1 teaspoon of yeast, 2 tablespoons of oil, and that's pretty much it. All right, so what I'm going to do now is take this over to the bread machine. Okay. And I guess we could, I could, use a kitchen mixer. I can use my hand. There we go. I bumped it. All right. So there's a mistake that goes along with this. I bumped it. Okay. And set it on 9 and start. So once this is done, it'll proof itself, and then I'll put it in the refrigerator overnight, 24 hours or so, around 24 hours. Just not stand fast on that number, stood fast at that number, but and then we'll make pizza. We'll see you in a bit. So thank you to the magic of the video. You saw yesterday where I made the dough. The dough has rest in the refrigerator for a little over 24 hours. So I am now going to complete the pizza recipe. As you can see, the dough has risen about 3 times more than than its original size. There you go. So now I'll go over the ingredients. Very inexpensive ingredients. What I have here is tomato paste. Tomato sauce, a small can, 50 cents can of tomato sauce. That's good enough for 2 pizza, but I'm only gonna make 1 pizza tonight, or this evening. And I use the Italian seasoning. Italian seasoning pretty much has oregano and I believe, I want to say thyme. I need to read the ingredients, but I don't want to make a mistake there. But anyway, so all I do is kind of mix it together. There's a little salt in the tomato sauce already, so I have to really be careful how much salt I put in. And it all depends on your taste. And that's really a bad habit. I shouldn't have tapped that. I need to break that habit. So I need cheese. I just use 2 sticks of these string cheese and feta cheese. Some garlic, a dust of garlic. Some peppers. These peppers have been on my counters for several days, so I need to use it up. But anyways, I julienne it a little bit, as you can see. You don't need a lot of toppings. It's kind of overcrowded the pizza, so sparingly. I use a combination of both shallots and white onions. And that's pretty much it. A little bit of salt. And the oil I use in the cast iron pan is just sunflower oil. I do have some Italian raw olive oil, but I'd rather not use it in here. So I put a little bit of oil in the pan. Kind of grease up the pan. The cast iron is pretty much non-stick. And you will see there's a trick to this. The oven has been heated up to 425. I'm going to take it up to 450. And it is a convection oven with 2 doors, so the top portion is the top portion of the oven is what we're going to cook it in. It kind of mimic a pizza oven. The downside with this oven is it only get up to about 480 degrees. It does have a fan, so that does help. But you know, the best crust goes into an oven that in the pizzeria that goes into an oven that runs about I want to say 750 degrees. All right, so as you almost sorry about that. That's funny. All right, so I'm gonna take half the dough. All right. I really don't. You do need to let the dough sit at room temperature for I don't know, 45 minutes to an hour. This dough has not sat at room temperature for that long, so I'm not sure how it's gonna turn out. Looks okay. Right. So I do is stretch it. Yes, it'll be fine. And it doesn't matter if it has a couple of holes in it or not. And you can use the whole set of dough. It depends on how thick you want your pizza. All right. So I'm going to stretch this out. And we're going to see how it turns out in the oven. Usually when I cook for people, something gets messed up. All right. I'm moving as fast as I can so the video doesn't go forever. I'm not sure how to do the time lapse. But anyways. All right. So I kind of pinched the dough together. It does come together once it rises in the oven. But to make the dough, to make a crisp dough, I will cook this on the stovetop. All right, so I'm going to put you on pause and stretch the dough out a little bit further, so you don't have to sit there and bear this pain of watching me stretch the dough. All right, so that's the best I can get it. All right, so now I'll just I'll just add some tomato sauce, and we'll go with the salt. just a soup spoon. All right, so we're gonna see how this is, you know, because I only get one take at this. Some folks do like a lot of sauce. I find that it's a lot better with less salt, but that's my taste. All right, so that's the tomatoes. All right, I'm gonna add a little bit of salt. Just regular table sauce, table salt. Jeez. All right, not a lot. Less than a teaspoon. All right, then the cheese. Like I said, it's the string cheese. Don't care much for I do, and you can use the pre-grated cheese. I just don't care much for it. But you know, I've used it before, and when it's available, if I have it on hand, I'll use it. All right, so now it's the peppers. As you can see, I'm not loading it. And then the onions. You know what? I am going to go with, I like the onions on top, so the oven can actually caramelize it. And I'm going to add a little bit of feta. Again, not a lot. And then I forgot one ingredient, so I'm going to put you on hold again. I'll be right back. Right, so the secret ingredients that I used here is some pesto. And I got this at Dollar Tree for $1. So it's like a margarita pizza, kind of, you know, a little twist because, you know, they add the basils and the tomatoes and mozzarella cheese. So I do have the string cheese and a little touch of a few dabs of pesto, and it does give it an amazing flavor. You don't have to use a lot. The pesto is full of calories. But, you know, the three of us gonna eat this, so. All right, so that's that. And now finish it up with the onions. The onions will caramelize, like I said, with the broiler. And the unfortunate thing, where I live, not a lot of people have gas stove, so I am stuck with. Okay, that's pretty much it. So go ahead. I'm gonna put you on hold, and then I'll take you over to the stove. All right, so I'm back. I forgot to put a little bit of garlic, so I'm gonna dust it with a little bit of garlic. Just garlic powder is fine. Just a little bit of it. Hopefully it doesn't get too bitter. All right, it's fine. And now I will turn on the stove to brown the bottom. I'll turn on high. It will get hot. It'll brown the bottom just for a little bit. I do have pizza stones, but you know, it just doesn't work well with an oven that doesn't get quite as hot. Right, so let's put you on hold again, and then roughly about 3 to 5 minutes, and we'll put this in the oven for 12 minutes. Alright guys, so as you can see, it's been a few minutes, and where I made a mistake and poke a hole there, you can see the steam comes up. You could use a fork and poke a few holes in your dough, but it doesn't need it. Alright, So it's been a few minutes. You can see the steam coming up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn off the stove up here, and then I'm going to bump this up to 450. Hit start. That way it'll get the broiler going and finish off the oven. All right, so I'm going to put on a timer for about 12 minutes. And it should be done in 12 minutes. I'll show you the end product here in 12 minutes. Alright, so it's been 12 minutes. Should be done. You can see a little smoke coming out. And this pan is extremely hot. Let's see. Alright. Alright, so now let me get it out of the pan and cut it up. So as you can see, we are in Texas, and I make my own wooden utensils out of mesquite wood. Alright, so there you go. Let's see. Let's show you what the crust look like at the bottom. It looks amazing. I don't know if you can see it or not. There you go. Oh, it's hot. That's because it just came out of the oven. Alright, let me move this pan. And there's pretty much no cleanup when it comes to the cast iron. You know, you're supposed to wait. Supposed to wait for a few minutes before you cut the pizza, but I'm just gonna go ahead and cut it. Guys, hear it? This is a $30 pizza on the Riverwalk. So I hope you liked it. Hope you enjoyed the video. And check it out. The crust doesn't bend. It's a perfect crust. So I hope you guys liked the video. Come back and see me for a few more cooking videos. So with that, you guys have a good night.